Domestic football across Europe takes a back seat this next weekend as international football comes back around. And we've got the latest batch of qualifiers for European 2020. Who's going to get over the line and into the tournament next summer? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. This time we're taking a look at the next round of matches in the old European 2020. Now in this video, we're going to look at the matches that take place over on the 14th of November, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things European 2020, Blackburn Rovers, world football. We're going to all hear Nowarovski. Now what we're going to do right here, right now, is go back to when was it? October, something like that, when the latest round of matches took place. Let's hop back in the DeLorean and have a little look. See how well we got on, boys and girls. So these are the games that took place last time around. Bulgaria took on England. That ended up as a 3-0 win for England. I actually went big on this one, 6-0 for England. Was it played behind closed doors or something like that? I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. Kosovo, Montenegro, that ended up as a 2-0 win for Kosovo. And I got that one bang on point, boys. Bang on flipping point. Meanwhile, in Group B, Lithuania, Serbia, that ended up as a 2-1 win. So a 2-0 win for Serbia. I actually went with a 2-1 win myself on this one. So close to the money. Same group, Ukraine took on Portugal and they won 2-1. Got this one bang on the nose, boys and girls. Bang on the pissing nose. And that sees Ukraine through to the tournament next summer. Moving forward into Group H, we have Moldova took on Albania. And that ended up as a 2-0 win for Albania. Actually went big on this one as well, 4-0 win for Albania, but got the right victors in the end. Iceland, Andorra, that ended up as a 3-0 win for Iceland on this one. I actually went with a 2-0 win myself. And then finally, same group, France, Turkey, heavyweight crunch clash for this one ended up as a 2-1 win for France. If you can see it there, it is right there in black and white. I actually went with a 1-1 draw on this one, so a little bit too shabby. Now let's take a look at what that did to the tables. Well, let's have a go now. So, yeah, some teams have made it through. Who's going to join them after these round of matches? Obviously, this come after the end of the week, we'll know the majority, I think, of 20 of the teams that will go through to the tournament. And then back in, later on in the calendar, in March, I think we'll find out who goes through via the playoffs. So it's a big week this internationally. England are on the verge, but they're not over the line just yet out in Group A. Czech Republic hot on the heels at the moment. Kosovo not out of the water, not out of the conversation yet. And they've got a big match coming up this week. In fact, 2 games apiece for those three nations at the top of Group A. Who will cross the line, we'll have to see. It'll be a bit absolute shit show if England somehow don't qualify. They've been looking good. Obviously, they slipped up earlier, I think, against the Czechs. Not too long. In Group B, Ukraine are there. They're all sitting pretty already through. Haven't lost a single game. 19 points on the board. Hot on the heels, though, are also in the conversation, Portugal and Serbia trying to get themselves over the line as well. Luxembourg did good earlier on, but they are falling flat now, and they were never really in the conversation. Also playing in this match day is Group H. Turkey and France are duking it out at the moment. There's 6 points still on the board. Iceland are not out of the conversation just yet. They'll need a little bit of a miracle, but it looks like it's going to be the top 2 as it stands. Albania, they're out. They're out of the conversation, I think. Again, I don't know the full grand scheme of things if Albania, Andorra, or Moldova are completely out of the playoff talk. I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But I'm just looking at who's going to qualify for directly into the tournament. And Group H is still to be decided. Anyway, let's get going, folks, and take a little look at the games that are taking place right here on the 14th of November. We'll get kicking off over in Group A. So England will take on Montenegro. Obviously, they 5 wins out of 6 so far. England, Montenegro, they're sitting in 4th spot, just the 3 points on the board, yet to taste the victory. They come into this though with 2 draws at the past 6 games, and it's not looking good at the moment for Montenegro. They've played each other a fair few times over the past 9 or 10 years. 5 times if we want to be exact. 2 wins for England, 0 wins for Montenegro, and 3 draws along the way. If you want to take a look at the games that took place over in England, it's not the greatest either. It's been a 4-1 win back in 2013 for England and a 0-0 draw back in 2010. I don't see any problems this time around, though, for England. I think they're looking good. They're looking comfortable, especially at home. They should win this one quite convincingly. I'm going to go with a 4-0 win. Meanwhile, the next game in this one, not as easy to decide. It is the 2 teams duking it out in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Kosovo come into this. 3 wins at the past 4 games. The Czech Republic, same sort of deal. 4 wins at the past 5 games. and they actually sit above Kosovo in the table at the moment. The previous record, they've only played the once. That was earlier in the campaign. It was a 2-1 win for Kosovo in the qualifying campaign earlier in the year. 2-1 over in Kosovo. It's very difficult to call, obviously, with a morale-boosting win for Czech Republic over England not too long ago, and they are hosting them. In fact, let's have a look at their recent home form compared to Kosovo's away form. So Czech Republic have actually won 3 of the past 5 games, including friendlies, this past year or so. They did lose to Brazil, and they did lose to Northern Ireland last time out. Kosovo's away record is okay as well, just the one defeat that was against England. It was a 5. They gave a good account of themselves as well, an 8-goal thriller, losing to England 5-3. For me, I can't remember what I've gone for this one. I'm actually going to go with a cheeky 2-1 win for the Czech Republic, which could put a massive dent in Kosovo's qualifying campaign. So kicking off forward into group, what we've got B here now. Portugal up against Lithuania. Now Portugal coming to this second in the group. Are they already through because they won the Nations League? I think so. I think they're probably already there. So I don't think it's too much skin off their nose to duke it out here. But I think they still want to come out on top of this and at least qualify in second spot, because I think if they were to finish in second spot, it'll open up a door for another team further down the playoff bracket. I think that's how it works, something like that. So Portugal coming to this, 3 wins at the past 4 games. If you take a look at the grander schemes, it's 3 wins at the past 6 games, but only 1 defeat, and that's 1 defeat the whole campaign. Up against the Lithuanian side, who sit 5th in the table, 5th out of 5th, losing 5 games on the spin. 6 in total. So realistically, they are the chief whipping boys in this group. Now, the previous encounters between these two sides have all ended up victorious for Portugal, and they've scored goals in these as well. On total, past 3 games, they've scored 14 goals in all of them. I don't see anything changing, maybe not as many, but I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Portugal to smash this one. Next up, another bit of a gimme, I'd say Serbia up against Luxembourg. Serbia, they're not out of the woods just yet either. They're knocking on the door for second spot, and that will leave up a tasty encounter for the next round of matches, which it doesn't look good. In fact, when you look at it, Serbia play Luxembourg here, and they also take on Ukraine next, whereas Portugal take on Lithuania, and they also take on Luxembourg. So it looks like it's going to go to Portugal's way. So Serbia will probably have to look at playoffs, something like that. I don't know. I don't know the grand scheme of things if they're applicable for the playoffs, if it works out that way. But hey, football's a funny old thing. Sometimes, somewhere along the line, there's some shockers, and it could be this weekend. But realistically, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So Serbia against Luxembourg. Serbia come into this 3 wins at the past 4 games. Luxembourg without a win in 5. They did win earlier in the campaign. They must have been in Lithuania early doors. Previously in this group, Serbia and Luxembourg ended up as a 3-1 win when played in Luxembourg. I see a similar scoreline this time around as well. Luxembourg's last 5 games have all resulted in defeat. That includes some friendlies in there as well. I don't see anything but a stone-cold home win for Serbia on this one, 3-0. And that will, again, put them within touching distance, but again, just a little bit too far. Not only do they have to beat Ukraine the next time around, they've also got to hope Portugal slip up against Luxembourg. And as I said, they are one of the chief whipping boys in this group. Moving forward to a very difficult Group H climax. That's right. 3 teams still mathematically have a chance to get themselves through. No one's over the line just yet. We're going to kick it off with Turkey, who are the leaders. They're going to take on Iceland, who are in 3rd spot. A win for Iceland, and then it will open up a little bit. It'll leave Turkey on 19 points and Iceland on 18 with a game to spare. And Iceland will have the favourable game against Moldova. And then Turkey, well, I tell a lie, Turkey would have Andorra as well. So this is an interesting one. I think Turkey can still afford to lose this and get over the line as long as they beat Andorra. Meanwhile, France, on the flip side, they take on Moldova and Albania over the next couple of days. Albania being a difficult one as well. Moldova should be a bit of a comfortable ride. Iceland, yep, they take on Turkey and Moldova. So France, world champions, will probably have the hardest challenge, I think, to secure the deal. But let's take a look at these anyway. We'll kind of wrap it up a little bit in just a second. So Turkey against Iceland. Turkey come into this unbeaten in 4 games, winning 3 and drawing 1 of those. Just a 1 defeat all campaign. Iceland, on the flip side, have lost 3 times and only won 1 in 3 matches coming into this. So it's not the greatest form for Iceland. The form book, though, goes in favour of the visitors this time around. The last 5 times they've played each other in all competitions and all venues have been 4 victories for Iceland, 1 win for Turkey. That win for Turkey was back in 2015. Iceland have even come to Turkey and picked up a victory. They won 3-0 back in the World Cup qualifying campaign 2017. They'll need to do something like that if they want to get into the conversation to get through to the actual tournament via the automatic spots. But for me, I cannot see anything but a home win for Turkey, and that should, I think, put them over the line into the next round, or into the tournament itself. Next up, we have Albania. They are taking on Andorra, the battle of the A's this time around. Albania, mathematically, they have a chance. I don't think so. I think if they win both their games, they'll be on 18 points. So they are out of the automatic conversation. They come into this, have beaten Andorra twice in the 2 previous encounters. One was a friendly back in 2010, and previously they did play earlier in the campaign. It was a 3-0 win for Albania. I can see a similar scoreline, if I'm honest with you. Andorra are not the greatest. They have a victory under the belt, and I assume that was against Moldova. It was a 1-0 win not too long ago. But yeah, Albania, one of those sides. They're middle of the road. I think they've been to a tournament quite recently. Maybe it was the 2016 Euros. I think they were there. So it's unfortunate that they got put in this group with 2 really decent nations, Turkey and France, and another one of those middle of the road nations in Iceland. I'm not saying that they're phenomenal, but they've got the bit between the teeth these days. So yeah, I expect Albania to walk this game quite comfortably, 3-0 in the end, and that'll give them another 3 points. It can close in on 3rd spot perhaps. But I don't know what that'll do for them in the grand scheme of things when you look at the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. And then wrapping up, the world champions, France, up against Moldova. Here's a bit of a walkover, this one, I'm sure. They've played each other just the once over the history of time, or in recent records. And earlier in the campaign, it was a 4-1 win for France. Now, France actually come into this 2nd in their group, behind Turkey on, I don't know, technicality perhaps. I don't know. They've actually got a bigger goal difference, so I'm not sure why that is. It must be, I don't know why that is. But we'll find out. I don't think it's going to be too much a bigger deal. They sit on 19 points, and then they take on Moldova, another one of the whipping boys who currently find themselves bottom of the table with 5 defeats at the past 5 games. They did win earlier in the campaign, and I believe that was against Andorra. Yep, they've exchanged victories over the course of the campaign. So realistically, I don't see anything troubling France in this one. They should come out this convincingly 4-0 in the end. Now, what I've done this before, but what I'm going to do with this one is showcase you what the tables would look like if my results come true. I think I've been pretty good with predicting the outcomes of the European 2020 qualifying. They've been pretty close to the mark. So let's take a look at what's going on. So if they work out the way they work out, England will be top of the pops, and they would go through to the tournament themselves with 18 points on the board. The Czech Republic would also go through, if my maths is correct, would only leave 3 points available for Kosovo to close the gap. Into Group B, Ukraine are already there. Portugal are probably there through the Nations League. But still, there is the small matter to be decided if Serbia will be there, or if Portugal will get the 2nd spot and then open up another position further down for the playoffs or something like that. Or maybe it goes to Serbia, I don't know. Moving forward into Group H, it would look like this. Turkey and France would both go through, but France would be top of the pops with 22 points and a better goal difference, and they regain control. Albania and Iceland may have an outside shot with a playoff. I don't know the situation with that. And we'll look at that when we bring this back around for the final round of matches for these groups, which will be in a couple of days' time. So, yeah, that's the situation as it stands out in Europe. Now, get your predictions in nice and early. What I'll do is I'll put the matches that are taking place this match day in the old comments or the description. So all you need to do is copy paste them over, and then you can punch in your score lines. And then we'll take a look at what you think and see how many you can get close to the money. Maybe, just maybe, we'll showcase them now. I've got a few plans for the European 2020 qualifying, the tournament itself on the channel. I want to bring you up to date. I'm going to do some squad prediction videos pretty much shortly after the last game of the groups phases. Once we know the 20 teams that are through, I'm going to do on a daily basis squad predictions for each one of the 20 teams that have qualified by myself, my own calls, and then I'm also going to use Football Manager 2020. I'm going to simulate to the tournaments themselves and see what they've predicted for the squads for the tournament next summer. See who's in there. So make sure you check those videos when they come out, and of course, when the tournament comes back around in June, we'll be doing predictions for that. We'll also be doing some predictions for the playoffs as well. I've also got another bit of a surprise up my sleeve. It's a bit of a simulation / predictor type thing, which we will do for a lot of stuff in the year 2020. We're going to do the knockout stages for the Champions League, the FA Cup, all these kinds of good stuff. So once this sort of program has been finished, I've got a guy working on it right now. We'll be looking to do some simulations. You can watch them live. We'll be chatting about it live on the channel. So make sure you stick those bad boys, or keep an eye out for those bad boys. The best way to keep up to date with all that kind of good stuff is you smash the subscribe button, boys and girls, and also you smash the thumbs up on this video to give it some loving and get up the old YouTube algorithm so other people can join in. Because the more the merrier, folks. If there's more people watching these live shows whenever they come around, the more interactive it is. The more you can meet new people, chat with fellow Turkish fans, fellow Icelandic fans, fellow Albanian fans, whatever it is. It's a great way to meet people. So the best way to do that is get these videos noticed, then get involved in the community like me. Anyway, folks, that's all I've got for you. Be sure to give this video some loving because it needs it. And also make sure you smash the subscribe button. I'll be back again tomorrow with some more European 2020 qualifying campaign videos. And we'll be back with the predictions then. Till then, ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.